This morning, I'm out here in the RV finishing up a project where I'm replacing parts, and it's the same part that has failed not just once, not just twice, 3 times. Well, technically 2, but I'll explain that story in a little bit to you. So the part that I am working on replacing is all of these dimmer switches here in our Alliance 22 ml Avenue fifth wheel. Now, these are like a touch. You do that, you just tap, turn it on, but they're also dimmer. You put your finger on and you hold, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So this one failed us and was replaced under warranty. Now, I'm not a big fan of these. I know a lot of people are. They like the look of them, but here's the problem. When you go to dim, you don't know where the bottom is, and the next thing you know, it's coming back up. And same way if you're going bright, you don't know where it's coming down. And so the other issue is, like in the bedroom, every time I'd brush by the wall because it's so tight in there, it would actually turn the lights on and off. And the other day I was out here and the one in the bedroom had failed. So I was like, all right, I'm going to replace it, but I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to change to a different switch. And then after I got that one changed, the lights in the slide out weren't working. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding. A third one of these has died. And so I ordered 2 more. And I tell you what, let me just show you what we're ordering. And here, I'll give you a close up. This is what we're replacing, these right here. Now I can tell you on Amazon, these were selling for like $16. The one that I am replacing with, this one right here, $33. So I'm hoping that this is a better switch, but I can tell you it's better for us, and here's why. And we'll come right over here. This one's already been replaced here on the slide out. It's just a rocker switch for on and off. So off, on. That way now, back in the bedroom, I don't have to worry about brushing against it in the middle of the night and flipping all the lights on. But you might say, well, don't you like dimming? I do. And I don't know if you can see it right there. There is a slider switch so we can bring the lights up and bring the lights down. But the main thing is I can set them exactly where I want them. I don't have to sit there and hold and hope to get it right where I want it. So this is what we're replacing with. It's by Rec Pro. I will leave the link down below in the description of this video in case you want to check these out and see about them. So I already have this one done, and I have the one in the bedroom. So today I just have to get this project finished up before our upcoming trip. So I think this one may be the most challenging to change out. And the reason being is this one is mounted in this cabinet. So it's actual thick wood, where the one in the slide out in the bedroom, that was just that thin wall material. And I literally used like a box cutting knife to cut the wall out, because I'll show you, we are going to have to cut a hole here. Now to get these old ones off, I'm just using like a knife here, because I just have to kind of loosen it up from the frame. And it will slowly, because I don't want to destroy anything, I'm just going to pop this out. And there we go. You can see that cap just pops off. And at some point, we're going to lose lights in here. Now, the only thing holding this light switch on is just 2 screws. And I learned that the new switches do not come with screws. So I am repurposing these screws. So I'm going to save them so that we can install the new switch. All right, there we go. So you can see the wires. Oh, there we go. There we go. The wires, you can see, just go through a small hole that they drilled out. And we're going to need to cut this out, and I'll show you here in just a second why. The nice thing is, obviously, these are never going to pull out through here because of how they have them attached. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come around here. We are going to clean out this cabinet, and we're going to remove this access panel so we can actually get to the wires. It's going to make it a lot easier. All right, now we have good access to our wires. I can find those wires, and we're going to go ahead and disconnect them so we can start looking at installing the new one. Now, let me just show you on this new one. Notice on the back here, it's a big square box. So we've got to cut out a hole for this to fit through. That's how this one's different. The other thing that I should note is This one has 3 wires coming out of it, and the one we're replacing has 4. Myron from Landstar RV. If you need a mobile tech in Northeast Indiana, give Myron a call. Myron takes care of all of our needs. He actually talked me through the wiring process on this, so I'll show you what he had me do. All right, there we go. The old one is out. You can see here, hopefully, the lighting's not the best since we have no lights in the RV, but we do have 4 different wires, 2 blacks, 2 whites. But now what I need to do is go ahead and cut out this hole for our new switch to go in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a pencil and trace around the box. I tried to line it up so the old holes and the screw holes will not be showing once we get this new switch in. You could do this a couple ways. I don't have like a little cutting tool. I do have a skill saw, but I feel like just trying to get that in there is going to be harder than just going ahead and using a little hand saw to cut this out. All right, I am going to need my drill and drill a couple holes to be able to get that in there. So we'll get the drill. Oh, I mentioned that I thought a 3rd switch had failed the other night. And that's why I went ahead and ordered new switches for the slide out and also the one we're doing today. That wasn't actually the switch because when I installed it, we still had no lights. Let me show you what happened. Told you I'd tell you the rest of the story. Right here's the issue. This line broke again. Now, if you've been following your channel, you know the day we brought this home from the dealership in Kentucky, this was a brand new RV, by the way. The mechanism was sprung. The wires rubbed all the way home, busted, and I had fixed it up. We dealt with that all summer. This fall, we reached out to Alliance for a warranty claim. Myron came over and said, look, this is bad design. There's no way these wires should be this close to a tire. And so he had put in a request to run the wires to the other end of the slide out where there would be a lot more clearance down there. And we were denied. We were told, no, this is the way it's designed. Fine. They sent us a new spring. Within 2 weeks, the spring was sprung, and I had to fight this going to Florida and back. And then we'd done a couple winter trips, and yeah. So apparently last time I brought it home, one of these wires, because what happens is when I bring the slide out in, they're always hanging. I have to kind of stuff them up in. Forgot to come out, and it pulled this apart. So it wasn't actually the light switch that failed. It's this issue with really bad design on the wiring harness for this 5th wheel. I will be doing a complete review, 1-year review of this 5th wheel, probably in May because we bought it at the end of May. So I want to wait till it's a full year. Let's find the drill here. All right, there's a drill. Now let me see. There's some drill bits. All right, that should work for us. Let's head back on inside. Oop. Hey, while we're right here, see how much further away the tires are over on this side? If we would just reroute those wires down here, and look how much closer it'd be for where they're going in. And just so you know, I'm done messing with Alliance warranty on that. I'm just going to pay Myron. He's going to reroute that here soon, and we're going to fix it properly. Oh, I should say, when they told me our request was denied, I said, well, if this new spring doesn't work, I'm expecting a solution that will work. And the response I got via email was, if this doesn't fix it, you need to go to a dealer. So, and my beef about that is Myron is authorized to do warranty work. So why his work or opinion any less than going to a dealership? I'm not going to a dealership because you can't get in most of the time. And once they get it, it will sit there for weeks. So, all right, let's go ahead and see what we can do up here. All right, let's see if I got it. Now, I did cut out some of it. I tell you what, this stuff is, quote, wood. It's more like glorified cardboard. So even though it's thick and it cuts a little hard, when you're just trying to fine trim, it's not too bad to work with. So, all right, now I do see a hole on this side. I sure am hoping. So I got a little too big. And I'm sure somebody will tell me I should have been using the proper tools. I know. But that's just not me. So, because I don't have the tools, I wasn't going to go buy it. But let's see. Maybe when our cover goes on, there may be enough. And worst case scenario, I'll caulk it. It's a great thing about caulk. And you know what? It's going to cover most of it. I see just a little bit, but I can fill that in. That's no problem. So, okay. So what I'm going to need to do is figure out which wires that I disconnected were the actual power wires and which ones go to the lights themselves. And the way I do that is I just use a multimeter. So that's the easiest way to find out where the power is at. I've found my power and I know that I have the positivity right. I know which is positive, which is negative because I'm not getting a negative sign on my multimeter. Now, one of the things that's really odd in this trailer, among many things, we just have extra wires that go to nowhere. When I was doing the slide out, I found an extra set of wires that I think when I tried to hook them up to power, we blew fuses. So I have a feeling it's an extra set of wires that they ran. I don't know why. And on the other end, they're either touching metal or they're touching each other, and that shorts them out. So I just capped them off. But I've got wires in here, no clue what they're for. So, all right, I think I'm ready to go ahead and find the wires from my switch here, and I think we can go ahead and start wiring this thing up. So what I've done per Myron's instructions is I have put the red wire from the switch to our positive power, and then I put both white wires, one from the lights, one from the power source. We're putting those with the black wire, and then he said put the green wire, which I guess is the positive from the lights. We're going to put that to the white wire on the switch. Hey. Let's make sure that's on tight. And it looks like we have light. Now let me see if the dimmer works. The dimmer works. There we go. Now I'm using what Alliance had used, which are these little clip deals where you just put your wires in and then clip them in. I kind of actually like those. They had used these over in the slide out, but then they didn't use them in the bedroom. Again, another one of those curious things. So I've got my wires all in there. I think they're on tight. I'm just double checking them. All right, so now let's finish up the front side of this light switch. Honestly, this is the easy part. So now to finish this up, I just have to screw my switch into the wall. I think the next owner of this RV will be appreciative that we went ahead and changed these out. We're going to go ahead and put our cover on. And I did notice when you go to put this on, you kind of want to bring that slider switch down. It goes on a lot easier. And there we go. And in fact, now the opening is not on this side. There's just a touch over here. I'm just going to end up caulking that. Now we have lights that dim, and it's just a rocker switch. I like that better. So now we have 3 new switches in here. Spent about $100 on those switches, but I just like the functionality of them better, and hopefully they actually last. I'm not sure how useful this is for your particular RV, but I at least wanted to share it so you could see what I was doing with ours. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And until next time, everybody, we'll see you on down the road. Bye.
Travels with the lady. We'll see you on down the road.